This video is going to help you understand what I'm expecting of you for the Unit 1 project, which is the primary form of assessment for Unit 1. This is 12.5% of your grade. So you're going to create a schedule, a weekly schedule, and you're going to create some main categories, primary uses of your time, and then under those main categories, some subcategories. So for example, if we made the category of health, I might think that under health you would have sleep and exercise, and maybe some other things that you do for health, maybe meditation or prayer or relaxation, reading a book, I don't know, whatever you consider that. And then maybe under school, you might be thinking about the time you spend in class, attending synchronous sessions or office hours, or the amount of time you do studying and homework, etc. So you could break those up into subcategories. I say here 5 to 10 main uses of your time, just a couple. It doesn't have to be that many, but there needs to be main categories and then subcategories. And you're going to create a table for the total hours you spend in 1 week for the main category and the total hours you spend for the subcategories, and then you're going to calculate the percent of each day used for that thing. Really, this should say the percent of each week, and then the percent of each week for the subcategories, and the table then would have percents and degrees in it. From that, you're going to create a pie graph and a bar graph for each. So I'm going to demonstrate this for you in Excel. You all have free access to Excel. If you log into your email account, so I will go there, go to the home page, click the email up there, log into your login, and if you click the apps button in the top corner, here is Excel. This is a free version of, well, you paid for it with your fees. It's an online version, but you can also download this. So if you click the home button and you click the install Office and other install options, you can download this onto your computer. It was included in your fees. Okay, so in Excel, I have gone ahead and created, this is actually from your textbook, the Unit 1, 2, these exact categories that student had from their daily schedule. So what we want is, first, let's double check that this actually adds up to the number of hours in a week. So the way to do calculations in Excel is you hit the equal sign in a cell, and then you can just type in the calculation. So I know that there's 24 hours in each day. Using the star, which is the Shift 8 button, times 7, I get the number of hours in a week. So we need to see, do all of these hours add up to that? So Excel has a handy way to add things. You hit the equal sign, type in sum, and then use parentheses, select the cells that you want to add up, close the parentheses, there's your sum. Awesome, we're good to go. So we want percent of week. And to do this calculation, we're going to take each of these categories and divide it by 168. So I'm going to do equals. I'm going to select the cell and hit divide by 168 and enter, and that's the percent. Well, no, it's actually the decimal version of the percent. Now notice if I move my cursor over this little square on the bottom right corner, it changes to a plus sign. Click, hold, and drag, and Excel will perform that calculation for you. So there's the decimal versions of the percent. So let's say I'll label this decimal. If I want the percent, remember we just multiply each of those values by 100. So I'm going to select the cell again, hit Shift 8 times 100, and there it is as a percent. Now, that's a lot of decimals. Maybe we only want 2 decimals. So we go up to the top here, and this gives us more decimals, and this one decreases the number of decimals. And of course, Excel rounds it appropriately for you. All right, the last thing we need in here is the degrees. Now remember that the degrees is 360, which is the number of degrees in a circle, times the percent. So I'm just going to type in 360 times the decimal version of the percent. Hit enter. There's the number of degrees that each sector would take up in your pie graph. So there's how to use Excel to set that up. If we then want a pie graph of the total hours, what we do is select what we want in our pie graph. We go to the Insert menu, and we click the charts, and we're just going to insert that pie chart. There it is. I don't really like this one. It doesn't give us a whole lot of information. So I'm going to use the quick layout, and I'm going to find one that I like a little better. I kind of like that one. You can also add elements, like it's really important that you title things. So we could say weekly hours usage. And I might put in here planned, because then you're going to have to do another one that's actual. All right, and then if we want a bar graph, we do the same thing, select those values, click Insert, but this time we select the bar graph one. And again, I don't really like this one very much. I want the numbers included. I don't want to have to guess on them. So there's one that does it. And then I might title this the same thing. Weekly hours usage planned. Okay, that's the first part of the task. And then for the second part, the second task, you're going to keep a time journal for 1 week of what you actually did. Repeat all this stuff, so you'll have another table. You actually have 2 tables, another pie graph, another bar graph. I would put them next to each other, so the planned and then the actual. And you're going to calculate some relative changes, as I've asked you to do here. Calculate an actual difference and then interpret that in context. So you have to type out that sentence. And then you're going to write a short paragraph about how this project went. Now, if you're a person that doesn't like that kind of idea, you don't like tracking your time, but you're really into tracking your money, go ahead and do the same thing, the exact same thing described here, but just do it for money. Come up with a budget, maybe think monthly, track your spending for a week or so or a day, and then do a comparison. Okay, then the last task is the really difficult one, and I'm going to create a separate video for that.